Alright, in this video, I'm just going to talk more about my dark secrets and just kind of airing it out and venting, but also to be honest and to reveal who I am and what I've been going through and what I've done that isn't so pretty. So, I guess I'll start with the darkest thing that I can think of for now, which is giving a mother herpes. And I know that what I did was messed up for me not telling her, and trying to stop her. And I didn't. It sounds like I'll put the blame on her, but I should have told her that I had it and that there's no kissing unless she was okay with that. I should have made that clear early on, but we ended up kissing and I didn't tell her, and I didn't had message her a few weeks later after the fact, and I told her and she's very upset about it. And I don't know, I feel terrible and I apologize. I want to try to make it up to her if I can. I've tried my best to explain how I don't think herpes is that huge of an issue and how it's more of a social stigma than an actual problem. And it's just the actual problem that we have is lack of social acceptance and people freaking out over it and freaking out over anything that don't go their way, to let it take away their happiness. Like whatever's going on in the political world or whatever, people can let small things just completely ruin their happiness. And I'm not saying I do think herpes is a small thing. I think it's just pimples, and I think that it's fear mongering. I don't even know what fully fear mongering means, but I think it means putting fear in people to sell an idea, or putting fear in people to control people, or to get people to move a certain way. I'm taking a guess, but controlling people out of fear. I feel like herpes is just putting, whenever they were advertising it, I'm gonna use the word advertising, but from the research that I've done and the videos that I've watched, it seems like they've just tried their best to demonize it and make it seem like it's the worst thing ever when it's just pimples. And I even told her, I said, if you are healthy and you take care of your diet and all these things, then they hardly ever break out. And a lot of people have, I want to say a lot of people, I can't remember statistics. There's some people that have herpes and they never know it their whole life because it never breaks out on them. And it's just something that humans can have without even knowing that they have it. And it's not even, the only issue that I see with it is other kids, like if her kid got it, and other kids would bully her kid and cause trauma onto him because he has herpes, and they see it on his face and they laugh at him for it. And that I do see as an issue. I see bullying as an issue, and talk about self-defense and defending myself with words and defending myself with physical violence if necessary, but that's the last option. But learning self-defense, mental self-defense, and physical self-defense, I think is very important for fighting or countering bullying. But I still think there are more solutions to solve the problem of bullying. I think bullying is complex, and bullying causes a lot of trauma onto people, and that trauma just usually gets thrown onto other people later on in life. Like usually when kids bully each other, you have to understand that, I get it, some bullies bully because they get bullied at their house by their parents or their family or their siblings or whatever, so they take it out on the other people and bully other people because they're being bullied and they got trauma, and so they're trying to throw it on the people. But when you do that and you bully and like a nerd who probably doesn't have that much trauma, and you pass on trauma onto him, and you make him insecure, you make his self-esteem low, and you make him feel like he's mentally scarred, then he's going probably pass on that trauma and that hurt and that pain onto someone else. And then it's a domino effect of traumatized people traumatizing people. Traumatized people traumatizing people. And so it's just this concept, like, I got traumatized, so I'm gonna throw my trauma on you. So where does it end? Where does it come to an individual who says, okay, you want to try to traumatize me, but I'm just going to heal from it, and I'm not going to throw whatever trauma you throw at me, I'm not going to throw it at someone else, I'm just going to take it. Or not even take it, I want to heal from it and actually go stronger from it and become better of it, and if anything, Uno reverse card back at you and call it out when you're trying to traumatize me, or when you're trying to emotionally, damage my emotions, or hurt my emotions, or hurt my feelings. You let it known. You let it be known that your feelings are hurt, and you don't let people get away with hurt your feelings. Now, I say physical violence is the last option. What I mean by not letting people get away with hurt your feelings, if someone did hurt your feelings, you let it be known, hey, you hurt my feelings, and you try to have a heart-to-heart conversation. Now, if it don't, then you use your words as a weapon, and then you attack their feelings, and you get them to try to feel how you feel. Now, people can have mixed opinions on payback, but I'm saying try to have that heart-to-heart first. And if they do not want to have it, and they don't hear it, and they want to hear it, and they don't care that they hurt your feelings, then you do it back at them. You give them the taste of their own medicine. Bully the bully, and you give them the same treatment, okay? So that's my solution. And another thing I want to talk about was, a way of me protecting myself was avoiding getting my feelings hurt. So I would just try my best to avoid confrontation, getting my feelings hurt, just avoid it. But that's not actually protecting myself. And protecting myself is letting it be known that my feelings are hurt, and not letting people get away with hurting my feelings. Not avoiding it and running away from it, but not letting people get away with it and letting it be known. And that's how I could protect my feelings and protect myself. Because avoiding it and running from it is kind of like if you think the armadillo effect, and I've done this before in my life, but you think of the armadillo effect, where you just kind of take the hits and you just hope that it stops. Or you do or you just simply run away or avoid it. Or when someone is, talking about touchy subjects that might hurt your feelings, you try to change the conversation. There's different tactics and strategies that you could do to avoid getting your feelings hurt. But if you're constantly trying to avoid getting your feelings hurt, that's kind of wimpy. And it makes you stronger, the fact that you can let your feelings get hurt and not lock up, or like you don't let it completely ruin your mood, it might change your mood, but you don't try to cower it away, if that's the word. Because I don't know, if I'm avoiding getting my feelings hurt, let me try to think of an example. Asking a beautiful woman out on a date. Some people avoid doing that because they're fear of the rejection, fear of the no, fear of being made fun of. Oh, I wouldn't date you. You're below my standards, or whatever they say. Which I don't think women. Some women might do that, but it's that overcoming that fear of rejection and overcoming that fear of getting your feelings hurt. Because if a woman does hurt your feelings from you asking her out, that just makes you stronger. It makes you more confident from asking out the next woman. Now I try to think of a woman could destroy your confidence, but you can build it right back up. And I think that's the cool part about being a man is, and then you don't even it's just kind of it might upset you, but you just have to build stronger from it. And it's just kind of okay, the next time I talk to a woman and she tries to treat me like that, I'm not gonna let her get away, or not even let her get away with it. I'm not gonna treat it in the same manner. And if she starts making fun of me for asking her out, I'm like, hold on now, I didn't ask for this. I was just trying to tell you you're beautiful, and I was just trying to ask you out on a date. I didn't want to be criticized or bullied for it. And so you just call it out, and you just try to be respectful, and you hold your composure and all that stuff. But I don't know, avoiding getting your feelings hurt is kind of a wimpy, cowardly move. So avoiding asking a woman out because you're scared of the rejection of no, or you're scared of her making fun of you, or avoiding confronting a bully because you think the bully will make it worse, but if you fight back, but it actually won't, it'll get him to stop bullying you. And actually going to the teacher and snitching on him will probably make it worse. So it's better to fight your own battles. And first try to have that heart to heart with the bully, because like I said, most bullies are being bullied themselves and they try to take it out on other people. But try to have the heart to heart with the bully. And then if that doesn't work, you use your words back at them and you try to get them to feel how you feel. And if they physically hit you, that's when you physically defend yourself. You don't let someone physically hit you and get away with it, you hit them back. And but the physical violence should always be the last option. And so yeah, I think the best way of protecting my feelings and myself is not avoiding getting my feelings hurt and running away and choosing to be cowardly or wimpy, but opening my heart for my feelings to be hurt. But when my feelings do get hurt, not closing my heart and closing myself off immediately, but letting it be known and communicating that my feelings are hurt and open up about my feelings being hurt, which is just another feeling. Having your feelings hurt having hurt feelings is just another feeling if you think about it. But you communicate your hurt feelings, say my feelings are hurt, and I don't like that you did that to me, and you try to have that heart-to-heart conversation with them. And if they're like they don't care that they hurt your feelings and they keep trying to attack you with the words, then you attack them back with the words. And so, I'm kind of just repeating myself, but to protect yourself and protect your feelings is to be open about your feelings and be open to your feelings being hurt and not closing off when your feelings do get hurt. And when your feelings do get hurt, you communicate it and you're open about your feelings getting hurt. And you try to talk it out with the person that hurt your feelings. And if they don't care that they hurt your feelings, then you hurt their feelings. You use your words to try to hurt their feelings so they can feel how you feel. And like I said, physical violence should always be the last option. So that concludes that, I feel like. But this video was just me talking about my dark secret. So, I passed on herpes onto a mother and I feel terrible about it, and I'm trying my best to apologize to her and make it up to her the best way I can. And so I'm gonna see what I can do and how I can help her. But that's a dark secret of mine. And another dark secret of mine is telling a woman who I'm pretty sure is my soulmate. Well, I don't think that's a dark secret of mine. Well, it technically is. But sharing my best friend's dark secrets with a woman who I think is my soulmate, I don't think is right. Especially because he told me not to tell anyone. I promised him, so I did break a promise. And I feel terrible about it, but I feel like in my book, I feel like you should tell all your dark secrets to Jesus first, and then your soulmate, and then your best friend. So from my perspective, I was just looking at it as I am going to be completely honest with Jesus first, and then my soulmate, and then my best friend. But try to be completely honest with all of them. But I don't want to be, if my best friend promised me not to tell anyone about something, I don't want to go to my soulmate and then pour his secrets out. I feel like that don't sound right to me, even though I do want to tell my soulmate all my dark secrets. And or it don't sound right, it don't feel right to me, because it's still breaking a promise. Because part of anybody is my soulmate, if you think about it. But I don't like keeping things from my soulmate. I want to be a completely open book with my soulmate. So I'm kind of still trying to figure this out. And so the best thing I can do, and which is what I have done, is tell my best friend, hey, I told my soulmate your dark secret, but haven't told anybody else. I'm not going to tell anybody else. And I did tell him that. So I don't know how he feels about that, but yeah, I still think I still believe, and I know and I feel that I should tell my soulmate everything. I shouldn't keep anything from her. And so I still don't feel bad for telling her my best friend's dark secrets, because I trust her. And so yeah, I don't feel bad, but I do, because I broke a promise. And I apologize to him. Or I don't think I fully said the word I'm sorry, but I do feel sorry that I broke his promise. I probably should tell him. But it's another dark secret of mine, is telling my soulmate my best friend's dark secrets, which I'm still iffy about how I feel about that. And like I said, I feel that I want to be an open, how I feel about that is I want to be a complete open book towards my soulmate and tell her everything. So yeah, I'm okay with telling her my best friend's dark secrets, but I'm not okay with breaking my best friend's promise of not telling anybody. And yeah, I just gotta apologize to him and tell him that she's the only one that I'm gonna tell everything. Well, Jesus first, and then she's the second person that I'm gonna tell everything to. And I just gotta make sure that's known to him. And I did tell him that. So, and I think we're still cool. He might be a little upset about it, but another dark secret of mine, which I feel like I might be coming off like I completely overcome the sin of lust and porn addiction, which I admit this morning I masturbated and I gave in to lust, and I'm asking Jesus to forgive me for that and for understanding how I can completely remove my lust addiction from my life. And he has helped me with understanding on, if I overcome my sin of sloth and I overcome my sin of gluttony, how it's easier to overcome my sin of lust. And I made the video, I talked about that in the video of how to overcome the sin of lust. So I highly recommend that, because I do feel this to be true. When I'm feeling lazy and I don't feel like cooking delicious, healthy food, and I make the lazy choice to go, which is the sin of sloth, to not cook healthy, delicious food, and go to McDonald's and get something quick and convenient and junk food that's gonna make me feel like garbage. If I do that, it's just me giving it to the sin of sloth, me not cooking delicious, healthy food, and then me going to McDonald's and committing the sin of gluttony and eating junk food and probably overeating, it's gonna make me feel like garbage, and then I feel like garbage, and now I wanna watch porn or give into my lust because it'll help me not feel like garbage. And so I understand how the sin of sloth, the sin of gluttony, and the sin of lust is connected, but I feel like another way that I can be lazy, not even just with me cooking my food, but it's just with me and my YouTube channel. I feel like if I make more videos and I'm creating more art, that I'll be too distracted to even think about watching porn or think about giving into less or have lustful thoughts. And so, and I do feel this to be true too, because I've done this. When I very first started this channel, and I want to say very first started this channel because I have a video for 7 years ago, but when I started uploading it with the universe, outer space background, I was microdosing on magic mushrooms, and slowly trying to quit weed, and was just smoking at nighttime. I slowly got off of that, just smoking CBD and weed off of that, and which I think smoking weed is okay, just not abusing it, smoking at work. But when and I talked about porn addiction back then too, but when I was making videos almost every single day, I think I was doing every day. I think I was almost making 2 videos a day too, which was awesome actually. I would love to do that again, but I think some days I was making 2 videos a day, and it had me so, I felt like I was full of energy, full of love, and I enjoyed what I was doing. And I felt productive, I felt a sense of accomplishment, I felt proud. And it lifted up my self-esteem, especially helping me become a better speaker and overcoming my speech problems, which I've struggled with that a lot during my childhood. And I don't know, I enjoyed making those videos back then a lot. And I felt like when me creating those videos every single day that I completely gave up porn. And even when I went homeless, which I don't want to go too much into, I was still being homeless without watching porn, and I had magic mushrooms and everything. But I think eventually, me being homeless and with the conditions of the heat and all that stuff, I did give into porn, especially since I wasn't making videos every day because I was homeless. But I don't want to just put the blame on homelessness, because I was still making videos outside and stuff. But that drive to make videos every single day was getting almost replaced by the drive to find shelter. And so, you gotta take care of your survival needs first. Think of Minecraft, take care of survival and then create. But, I'd still recommend trying to create art even in survival conditions, because it can help you, just if you just want to vent out what survival feels like and what it feels like surviving, what it feels like being homeless, which I don't know if I made a video talking when I was homeless about how it feels. I think I did, but I don't know if I posted it or if it's anywhere in my Google Drive or anything, but just venting out how it feels to be homeless. You know, people do this on YouTube all the time, which is still creating art. And it's still a way for you to vent out your emotions and let it out and see yourself. Even if it's not you, you know, painting a painting, or if it's not you playing an instrument, and you know, or if, you know, for me, like talking about curiosity and all that stuff, which I would love to do, which I'll talk about in a second. There's some videos that I feel like I really want to make, but it might take me maybe a week or a few days to make it and get all the ideas fleshed out, and to really feel like, really feel like how I want the video to go. It might take me a few days for me to feel comfortable making that video and for it to be the way that I want it to be. And I feel like some videos might take me a few days or a week or two to be able to make. And I feel like, yeah, I still want to do those videos, but I feel like I need to have some videos that I can just make within an hour or 2 hours or in a day. And like this video is just me talking about the, you know, more of my dark secrets. This video, I had an idea of this video, you know, a while back, but I just said I want to make a video today, and I was like, just make a video about this. It's easy for me to talk about, and I don't have to write a script. You know, some of the videos that I've made previously, I wrote a script for. There's not much of a script in this video. It's just kind of me talking on top of my head, and I like that spontaneous, that freestyle, creating in the moment and just coming up with it on the spot in the moment, and improvising, I think is the word, or being able to be creatively quick, or quick wit, or, you know, be able to create fast in the moment and be spontaneous. I don't know if I'm grabbing the correct word that to really describe what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's just being able to create something new in the moment, that without much planning. And that's an amazing creative feeling. And actually, I feel like it's more creative than actually planning to create something. And you can feel more of your creativity by just winging it, if that's a better word. But yeah, I feel like creating videos every single day, and, you know, writing journal every day, you know, writing letters to Jesus, which I talked about how to talk and write to Jesus. I highly recommend that video. You know, me talking about Santa Claus and all that. But yeah, I highly recommend watching that video. Yeah, I think writing a journal every single day and creating a YouTube video every single day, whether it's a planned video or a spontaneous in the moment video, I think would be great for my creativity. I feel like I will be more focused on doing that than giving into lust, and I won't even be thinking about lust as much, because I'll be too distracted. And I don't even want to say distracted as a bad way, but I would have a beautifully good distraction to keep me from thinking about lust. And that's something I'm gonna start doing, just trying to create videos every single day, whether, like I said, it's spontaneous in the moment or planned. And I just gotta do it. You know, less talking and, you know, actions speak louder than words. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my dark secrets.